Thank you, Sri Vallabhji. Namaskar. Welcome to Vajapeya Maha Soma Yaga 2020, organized by Pragati Sudhama in association with Tirupati Devasthanam, Sri Aurobindo International, and Maharshi Vedic University. We've been organizing this international webinar in August for World Wellness. And today's topic is Vedic agriculture and Kamdhenu. Today's speakers are is also chairing the session. And at 3:15, Dr. Raja John Konas from Japan will join. He is the main person, Vedic organic agriculture in the world. And at 4 o'clock, Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria is the chairman, Rashtriya Kamdhenu Aayog, Government of India, the rank of Minister of State, Government of India. You will be joining at 4 o'clock. Now we'll start with Alex Hankey, Dr. Alex Hankey, and brief biodata will be led by Ms. Nikla.
Namaste. I would like to introduce Dr. Alex Hankey, Professor of Biology, Maharashtra Institute of Technology, World Peace University, Pune. Having gained a first-class honors degree at Cambridge University and a PhD in physics from MIT, Alex Hankey joined Maharshi International University, rising to Professor of Physics. He worked for Maharshi's organization for 30 years. He has made many significant discoveries in Ayurveda and Yoga. He has shown conclusively how experimental results on these two systems differ completely from those on biomedicine and why different criteria should be used to investigate and justify their treatments. His theories of health and subjective experience, that is, subtle levels of reality, establishes that Vedic science like yoga, Ayurveda, and Jyotishya are in advance of modern science. His book, The Science of Medical Astrology, The Experimental Proof of Jyotishya, was published in late 2019. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. Alex Hankey to deliver this. Dr. Alex Hankey. Can you hear me, Dr. Alex? Yeah, we could not hear.
Yes, thank you indeed. Can you hear me? It is a great pleasure to be with you today. I'm greatly honored to have been invited to address this webinar, and I greatly thank you for the privilege. I'm deeply indebted to you for your invitation. So without more ado, I should like to present a very short PowerPoint explaining some of the virtues of yagas that were explained to us by His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, my Guru. I may say that I have been fortunate to attend 3 or 4 of the yagas that have been arranged by our great champion of yoga, Mr. Shekhar Reddy, and I have attended them as far distant as Nepal. And there was one in Aurobindo that I was very fortunate to attend, and another at the Yoga University, where I was formerly teaching before the Yoga University, Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Sanstana, before I moved to the Maharashtra Institute of Technology, World Peace University. And I may say that at this institution in Pune, the founder, Dr. Vishwanath Karad, has done an immense amount to promote the idea of world peace and to promote the understanding that there is no conflict between science and Veda, between the ancient Vedic sciences that was so beautifully elucidated by my Guru Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, and the modern sciences. Indeed, when I joined Maharshi's university in 1973, he gave all his faculty the charge to work out the relationship between their particular discipline and the modern sciences. And behind me on one side, I have a picture of Maharshi's holy tradition with Maharshi and his Gurudev at the bottom, coming down from Lord Narayana through Lord Brahma and the great Brahmarshis like Brahmarshi Vasishta. And on the other side, I have the great guru to whom this university is dedicated, Swami or Santa Dhyaneshwara, the great Marathi saint of about the 13th century, who laid the foundation spiritually for the liberation of India from those very unfortunate powers from the Middle East and from the west of India. So without more ado, let me begin my presentation. And I'm going to show you some thoughts on the power of yagya. So the title of my presentation is The Power of Yagas to Support Sanatana Dharma. And I dedicate this presentation to my Guru, His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi. Let me go to the full screen. His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, and his devotion to his Guru, and indeed the entire holy tradition of gurus coming down to us from the most ancient times, and indeed from previous civilizations. And Maharshi was a supreme teacher of enlightenment. His motto for most of his life was enlightenment to the individual, invincibility to the nation. And he was supremely devoted to his guru, his divinity, as he called him, Swami Brahmananda Saraswati, Shankaracharya of Jyotirmath in the Himalayas from 1939 to 1952. So the Mahasomayagas, Maharshi insisted to us, infused the supreme power of nature into the environment. So I shall discuss that very briefly. And then I shall talk a little bit about the power of yajna, the power of yaga itself, and the power of nature, because that should make clear how the power of yajna commands the power of nature and infuses it into the environment. This was the supreme achievement of the rishis, the maharshis, the brahmarshis, who were the cognizers of the Vedas and who brought the power of Veda into the land of Veda, and will ensure that the land of Veda is itself a supreme power in this world of ours, which is so wrought by the divisions of different kinds, political divisions, divisions of between riches and poverty, and between those who have and those who have not. And the power of nature is to infuse these beautiful properties of Yujny into the environment and overcome the differences which cause destruction. And as we now see, the climate crisis and the continuing extinctions which are going on and which are most unfortunate. So, as I said, my guru's great motto, which he insisted on telling to all his teachers like myself: enlightenment to the individual, invincibility to the nation. A motto that he coined in 1977 when he began to teach the idea of gaining invincibility for the nation through the Maharshi effect, but particularly through the power of Yagya, and through such supreme yagyas as the Soma Yagas, and particularly Rudrabhishek. So here we power of nature into the environment. Maharshi talked of Soma as the source of creation, the source of the life of creation, the source of life, and the very essence of how divinity infused the power of life, and indeed the power of life to become divine. Where I was at my previous position at the Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhan Sanstana, the Vivekananda Yoga Research Institution, Swami Vivekananda was famous for his saying that man is born to become divine. Most of us, of course, have to be born and reborn to get onto the path. And after many incarnations, we begin to approach the goal. And that goal of moksha, that goal of, as yoga calls it, kaivalya, where the Maharshi would talk about kaivalya as a state in which the individual could be beyond space-time, could be in that eternal field within which space-time, our universe, all universes are eternally embedded. So Maharshi described Soma as a field of, he called it infinite correlation, because all things are correlated. All things, though they appear many, are one. And it's this, we can understand it particularly in my field, in physics, as in terms of quantum mechanical correlations. And these correlations can correlate all events so that although there seems to be increasing diversity, all that diversity is held together at the source by the infinite correlations which pervade the whole of nature. So Maharshi described Soma as a field of infinite correlation. That field of infinite correlation can pervade the entire environment, and where there are differences, it can create unity. Soma has the power to overcome all distinctions, all warlike tendencies. It can overcome all the warlike tendencies of the surrounding peoples, the surrounding nations, and through these means, the power of Soma infused into the environment by the Soma Yagas, the Mahasomayaga, has the power to overcome all the enemies and to create a nation, and a group practice of his transcendental meditation and TM Siddhi program. One of the ways of infusing invincibility into every nation and stopping the warlike tendencies of particular nations was to develop huge quantities of the infinite correlations which are developed in group meditations and which are also generated through Soma in the Soma Yagas. And this field, according to Maharshi, holds the whole universe. The entire universe is held in a field of state of perfect orderliness. And in a state of perfect orderliness, one expects to minimize conflicts. So one of the understandings of Sanatana Dharma, the entire structure of Vedic civilization through the growing of the soul, the advancement of the soul to states of moksha, and through moksha into states of ultimately becoming a guru and becoming immortal, becoming divine. These processes, which are so dear to those of us who adhere to Sanatana Dharma, can be greatly enhanced by the power of Yagya, and particularly Soma Yagya, to generate that field of perfect orderliness, that state of perfect orderliness in the local environment. So the entire idea in Yajna, when Pandits learn Yajna, I understand that they are also overcoming the power of time. Kala is known as, in the West, time is the great equalizer, time is the great destroyer. And indeed, in India, we see that when we celebrate, as we recently did, Navaratri, the last 3 days of Navaratri are dedicated to Mahakali. And Kali, in a sense, is the feminine side of Kala. And she is the great destroyer who can destroy all the differences and bring things to their actually supremely desired results. And so I just play on these words for you to tell you that this is one of the ways that the yagyas work. Mere kala becomes karma kala through the recitation of the mantras, and the pundits begin to enter a state within the framework of the yagya. Through the power of the yagya and the yajna, they go into mahakala, which is a journey from time to the timeless. And this state of timelessness is the state in which the entire universe is embedded. And this is the way that for both the pundits and those who attend the yagyas, and particularly those who perform pradakshina, and they circumambulate the site of the yagya to advance into that state of timelessness. So this is one of the supreme benefits of attending for the entire duration of this great yagya, and I salute you for your having been able to do it. Unfortunately, I have been too busy in my new occupation, my new job teaching here at the Maharashtra Institute of Technology. I would have loved to have joined you, and I regard myself as very blessed and very fortunate to be able to give you some of my thoughts today. So finally, the power of nature. Nature has infinite organizing power, Maharshi would say. She can overcome all obstacles. The entire point in meditation is to become aligned with the power of nature, so that nature's power can act on one's behalf. One may have many personal ambitions. One may have many projects that nature wishes one to achieve those things. We need the infinite organizing power of nature behind us. Maharshi would say that Maharshi Mahesh Yogi told us very clearly that the great advantage of meditation is to align the individual, to align us personally with our Dharma, because it's only really by adhering to our own Dharma that we can reach the supreme goal. And this is one of the things that Lord Krishna so beautifully explains in Gita. It is better to be in one's own Dharma, difficult though it may seem, than to be in the Dharma of another. So adhering to one's Dharma, whether it's as a Pandit, whether it's as someone who attends yagyas, whether it's as a teacher of Dharma, a teacher of meditation, a teacher of science, whatever one's Dharma is, it is best to adhere to one's own Dharma and to bring that to fulfillment through the power of nature, because the power of nature allows us to overcome all obstacles. And through that power of nature, any goal can be achieved. Any goal can be achieved. So those are basically my thoughts on the power of Soma Yagas within the context of Sanatana Dharma. And the power of the Soma Yagas was for ourselves who were within his organization, the gift of His Holiness Maharshi Mahesh Yogi and his Guru Deva, with this supreme aim that is written at the bottom of this slide: enlightenment to the individual, invincibility to the nation. And if I am permitted just a minute or two more, I want to tell you the supreme virtue of Sanatana Dharma. There was at Stanford University, about the time that I attended it in 1972 to 73, there was a group dedicated to the study of the future, the futurology group, the study of the future, futurology. And it was headed by a scientist who had very great knowledge of the different philosophies of life. And they compared the influence of different philosophies on the future of mankind. And they studied what they called the perennial philosophy, and they compared it to highest Christian philosophy as understood in the West, mysticism. And they looked at the more materialist philosophies, liberalism, and the left-wing philosophies, starting from socialism and ending in communism. And they came to the conclusion, the only way that mankind could survive was through the philosophy called the perennial philosophy, which is the title of the book that no less an author than Aldous Huxley, who was a Vedantin, in his studying with the Vivekananda's fellow disciples in California, Sanatana Dharma. Only Sanatana Dharma can guarantee the future of mankind, and it's extremely important for the whole planet, not just for India, but for the entire civilization, if it can be called as such, on earth today, that we bring Sanatana Dharma through such things as yagas, the Soma Yagas, things like Rudra Abhishek, which is performed every day, truly enlightened civilization. Only Sanatana Dharma can do it. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to address you today. Those are my thoughts on yagas for world wellness and for world, particularly for world peace and for peace and prosperity for the entirety of humankind. Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
I shall say I'm bringing my presentation to a close.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Alex. Your message that Mother Earth can overcome all obstacles, that was a great message. Thank you very much for that. Now I will have several people and welcome to Dr. Alex Osgard and Pastor Registrar University, Holiness, and several other professors are joining. Thank you very much. Now the next speaker is the Chairman Pragati Sudhama Group. He is organizing this Vajapeya Maha Soma Yaga. Part of that only we organized this webinar. And we have seen several people like Water Man of India, Temple Man of India, Mountain Man of India. He can be classified as Herbal Man of India. If any Herbal Man of India is there, it's only G.B.K. And now I request Nikla to read the small brief on G.B.K.
Hello, I would like to introduce Dr. G.B.K. Rao. He's an engineer turned environmentalist, is the architect of Pragati Biodiversity Knowledge Park, and the founder, chairman, and managing director of Pragati Group. Chairman, Expert Committee on Agriculture and Food Processing for Circle Region, India Chamber of Commerce, and Chairman, Tourism, Hospitality, Media, and Entertainment. Committee, the Federation of Telangana Chambers of Commerce and Industry.
Yeah, I'll be there.
It's a brief presentation about 3 minutes video on She's keeping. She's keeping.
Also,
Mohan. Presentation done.
Presentation, yes, Raj.
Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Able to hear?
Yeah, it's quite. It's.
Varshadipyo Namaha. Prakriti Mata ko Nirajanam. Soma Yagna, Maha Yagna, Vajapaye. Mr. Sri Raju Reddy Garu, he invited me for about Yagna to tell. Then I requested him to come to my house. So he came and he talked about the Yagna, which is Vajapaye Somayaga Yagna, which I was thinking to start this one 2 months early. Some reasons I could not, he came to know. And he came to me, and when he told, immediately I accepted to conduct at Pragati Sudhama. That is what you have seen the place. Any problem? This Yagna is the one which we have 1993. Thinking this final Yagna is going to come, this final Yagna, we required all the heads, what we call the samadhis, varshadis. Without this, no Yagna. And also without prithvis, there is no Yagna. These two are missing today in India. The whole world, if you see that only 130 Ritviks are there, Agnihotris, out of 130, hardly you find the 14 years Ganapatis taking all the efforts to 4 Vedas, how to conduct Yagna. If they are not there, again there is no Yagna. 94, I started this Pragati Sudhama. The final Yagna is these first Vanmulkas which are endangered. It's become almost endangered. That is the one which we taken up. Today you can see this our logo, which is registered 1994. That logo represents earth, air, akash, fire, water. The colors, that is what we represent in our Vedic culture. Unless these 5 elements purify, Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityoma, Amritangamaya. For that, the knowledge which you have to gain, first we have to purify ourselves, not only the 5 elements, because our body is constituted by 5 elements, and these Kama, Krodha, Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsalya, Ahankar, all this has to be under your control. That's why Yajna gives the orpu. Orpu nevantarandi? Patience. Unless you have patience, you cannot win anything. Yajna means that is the patience, which is, no one should create any disturbance there. Anything is happening, it has to be planned thoroughly, very, very systematically. That too, Yajna is we call Suddhi. Apavitra pavitro va sarvavastanga topiva esmaret pundrika sabhyanta suchihi. Suchi is the one, is the Indian system, is we have such a important, without sprinkling water, without us before starting Yajna, before starting puja, Achiminiyam. Achiminiyam, that is 10 times, 20 times people do. Why? The throat is to be always must have a clear throat. Pitika, Swarapitika. Even corona attacks only when Swarapitika gets dry. That's the reason, if you take just Achiminiyam itself every 15 minutes, this itself will take care. Why? Because we put Tulsi into that particular water. Tulsi is the one which it creates all impurities into purity. It is Sanjeevani. Tulsi, without Tulsi, nothing we prepare food without Tulsi. When the prepared food, we put them on the prasad, offer to the God, when we put. Even Tulsi, we have hundreds of acres we are cultivating, hundreds of acres. That is the Tulsi. Type of long Tulsi, mint Tulsi, Kapur Tulsi, Vamu Tulsi, Krishna Tulsi, Lakshmi Tulsi. These are all the plants which varieties of Ashwagandha, Nanari. The most of the plants which are going to come, unless we have the type of environment, the Lord Krishna, you find that all around him, the only plants and the cows you must have. If without these two, see Dhanvantari, just back. Dhanvantari, what he says, in his one hand, keeping the hand, and another hand, the nectar pot. From the leaf means that is Vanamulika. Only it gives the Amrut. Water gets Amrut when it touches these important Vanamulikas, as we call, they are the Prana Pradatas, Arugya Pradatas. They are called Kalprokshas. Next, please. Next. Look at here, Dakshinamurti. This is the Dakshina. Before this Yajna, we installed the Dakshinamurti. He is the one, Srishti Sthiti Laya, Damarikam, one hand, top, the right hand, Damarikam, the left hand, the Damarikam. The Damarikam is a Srishti, that is Omkar, Pranavam. Then his smile, look at his smile is the happiness, bringing happiness, that is nothing but Sthiti, Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu. Third, that is a fire, which is God in the left hand. Then fire is nothing but Laya, Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. And he has got one hand, that is Gnana Mudra. That is Gnana Mudra means it is this finger is the one myself. Atma is not body. And this finger is called Paramatma. Atma, you connect with the Paramatma. This is the mudra which he kept. And another left hand, bottom, Vedas. That is the culture of our Indian culture, keeping the right hand, right leg on Indriyas. And Indriyas, he is putting his right leg toe on, that is called Maya. So that he is Kalatita. He is always young. And his hair, you see his hair, is a Kesha. The Kesha is a lot of this Akash Tattva. Every inch of this, every inch of that statue is a great message. Without telling, like Krishna is all around plants, there is all around cows, desi cows, and the temple. Temple is started 2.5 months before where to Yajna to perform. First, we have started with this. Next, next please. This is Yajna Shala where we are conducting now, which is going to complete in tomorrow, by tomorrow. This after Vajapaye Soma Yaga. Now Brihaspati Yaga is conducting, and this will be see the type of arrangements are made here, and here is Sudarshana Yaga, and also the Dhanvantari Yaga, and then Kalyanam. Tomorrow is Venkateshwar Kalyanam is going to come tomorrow evening. That is the Mukkoti Ekadashi. See, this is the one is a well which is just 30 feet from the Yajmani, where Yajman Ralu going to have a bath with this well water. So we thought that how much deep we have to go. Then in 1 feet we got the water, and the water is flowing after 2.5 months. This water is a surprise that never be during rainy season only. This water it flows into this, but this time 2,500 feet. Otherwise 1,000 feet we have to go there. So more than 1,000 feet to get. This is the Shankarpalli Mandal, and you see this is the one what we have just that day 2.5 months back. We put the seed there. Today is like as fresh as that, very fresh. Just because the 48 marriages took place around that place. 48 marriages. Still, they are very fresh. Very looks like just 1 week before we have put the seed. And these are the patras which used for the this Somalata, Vajapaye Somalata. The two types of stones. These are different stones. They have to just press that Somalata, then putting into the water, that is Somaras. And these are all this wood is made from Pragati herbal medicinal plants, which are Samidhis, are the sacred plants. Those sacred plants, if you look at this, each one is different. In our olden days, our kitchen has got this type of wood only, without no steel, no other metal, except that is chandra, that is what we call that is acacia cataju, and other one is the most important juvi, which is a Vailingam, Sri Kalastreswar, Gnana Prasunamba, that is a juvi tree, is a ficus one variety. These two only use this Somalata ras to store in it, or otherwise the mud pot. These three only, nothing else, no wood to be used. But where in the kitchen, there are other types of even cutting our vegetables, the waste, that is silsha, that is called the dirsena, and that only, because that is the one, whatever one will cast comes. See the Yajna, how many great people have come, scholars have come, musicians have come. This is what is been offered, and Yajna means is nothing but during Yajna, the people who are, he is the Home Minister of the Central Cabinet, Kishan Reddy, he himself is coming here and sharing their views on our how to go about next future Yajna and the type of policies to make. This Yajna is not just performing Yajna. During Yajna, so many scholars comes and we share with them. He is the governor of Himachal Pradesh. He was the cabinet minister, number of times the cabinet minister, Bandara Dattatreya ji. Like that, many people are coming here, and he is our Karthikeyan. He was the man. He's a sincere and honest man, and other, Satyavani. These are the things, Vaibhav. We have to do is not just when is performing, when we are offering to the God, how best Each one is very interesting. Each one is bringing, is like, one is like India map, one is like, Sima, one is like a Govt. Everyone is seeing their own way, and it's not that for only for them. When it is brought and shown it, and others also can see the same. Someone is telling like a cow is like each one has got his own important. This is the what our Indian Sanskriti, Indian way of our festivals. This is the one Batkama festival. You look at the Batkama festivals. What are the plants? Each one has got. If these 7 flowers, if you use, your even going to death, people get life. That is the like Sanjeevani's. Each festival we conduct like this with the flowers, with the leaf, with the bark, with the root, with the seed, with the fruits. And what Hanuman brought Sanjeevani, that is Mudha Sanjeevani, Sandhana Karani, Visalya Karani, Suvarna Karani. We have lost everything. Today at least Somlata is available. We are going Somlata and this type of now this present our Indian how it has gone to such a level. Plastics, they are using plastic, tons and tons of plastic flowers they are using, and we have to change our mindset. Like the schools, the colleges, everywhere they don't know about our Indian. This is Ashwagandha. See that my place, hundreds of acres Ashwagandha we are growing. See how beautiful they are. They're like a tulsi. How many? Hundreds of acres, not 1 acre, 2 acre. These are all most important plants, Nanari. And every, and this is Safed Musli. This is Safed Musli. Next. You see the Madhunashini for diabetes. These are the things, because of this, we don't have any mosquitoes or bad bacteria or no corona. People talking about vaccine and vaccine. This type of plants you grow in every house, every park, every temple, whole colonies. Then no corona. This corona is nothing. It is just it's going to come because the pollution we created with the plastics and type of that which industries are going like a Pepsi, Coke, this type of you are instead of using the coconut water or nanari, what I said, instead of these herbs, instead of using, we are shifted to the all chemical food, stored food. Then the chemical industries are coming, pesticides are coming, and even the growing 89.8% of the land wherever the agriculture is going, not only in India, the whole world, the United Nations G.B.K, they said, what we are eating, nothing but poison, because arsenic, lead, mercury, all these things which are spread and continuously is increasing day by day. What we need today to stop all this, what we are going to rice, wheat, instead of millets. Millets is the one original. Our system of millets is the ultimate. The next in the instead of tea, coffee, you must use our herbal decoctions. Whatever we offer, this is the one is just back. This is the anatome. Anatome is the natural color. If you see the seed, one seed you touch, it is such a orange color. And this is the food, this sindoor, we call it sindurum. It is a food color. This is a it has to be used in the food as a color, in the holy to be used. This is the one which is E vitamin, highest vitamin E is there. Instead of this, people are using all chemical lead for colors to get, that is dangerous. Next please. See, this is Shatavari. Shatavari, how beautiful, how much, these things, your kidney, liver, all these problems, we can just avoid, just instead of chemical tablets or chemical powders. Next, please. We conduct every month, 3 days, the first week, about the Amrita. These are the things what we, instead of rice, wheat, millets, instead of coffee, tea, we use the kashayams, whatever kashayam is, from herbs, we change from herbal decoctions. We call herbal tea. Simple herbal kashayam means people. Then instead of sugarcane sugar, the palm jaggery. Then instead of refined oils, kattikando, that is going to come. This is just the back. This is the one millets. Each millet you can see that, because I am sharing this every information, people can see what is Kodo millet, what is American millet, what is the little finger millet. All these are the millets. Each has got the millets. If you use 300 liters only required for 1 kg millet to come on the table, whereas rice and wheat 8,000 to 12,000 liters required 1 kg to come on the table. Whereas the sugar cane is required for sugar cane 1 kg sugar to come on the table. It requires 27,000 liters. What about palm jaggery? Nothing. You don't need to give any water, but that is fructose. This is the glucose. You display each plant, herbal medicinal plant. We display and explain them. Recipes. All this is done and shown to the people. Then how to make this palm jaggery and what is the benefits. Everything is. These are all groups that back. Soils, that is the wood what we use the Sirisha. That is the one which is removes all the toxins or the poisonous if anything comes. Every seed has got, when it is between the seed and this particular wood, it kills that bad bacteria and that poisonous, and ultimately these are the things which every village can go. This type of bullock, cold press type of producing oils. These are the things what we use in our kitchen, Indian traditional cooking, and we are lost. Everything is today is the plastic. Every like fridge, every item is the plastic. That's why the cancers. We want these are the things, what utensils, what would be to be used as a spoons or even cutting and storing the nest piece. These are the tools. This is the plates which we use, not just plastic plates and all. Today, everywhere is the plastic. This is what is the important. This is the nanotechnology. When you take that food, when it just hot food, it comes from that leaf. What the carbon, sulfur, whatever is required for your body, and also any poison in the food, we can immediately identify in a banana leaf that turns into black color. That's why if by mistake any poison comes, you can immediately identify there is a poison in it. So much nanotechnology is available in this golden days. Boost your immunity that natural way. These are things, we have the varieties of 7 varieties leaves which you can take the kashayam. That type of all names are given. You can go through because the time factor I am shifting one by one. This is why kashayams. Why kashayams? Because the kashayams, these herbs, which are nothing but whatever all these things we offer to the God. It doesn't mean that God needs this. God is created, so He doesn't need. Once we offer to the God means that we consume. We have to consume. Boosting precautions, that is immunity. All the names are being given. How to use also is given. This can be seen and record is there. Go through this. These are the things where it see the consciousness and awareness as per our director, Mr. Ramakrishna, who is standing there. In 2012, the biodiversity took place in Hyderabad. That 6,000 crores spent by United Nations to conduct this biodiversity program in Hyderabad. That they decided After seeing Pragati, to showcase the Pragati, they keep it. To showcase this Pragati for 650 mayors of the world, 195 countries are participated. For that, that is the day 35 cameras are there. Somehow, when I was showing, all the cows came and surrounded me. One cow is rushing towards me. Ramakrishna, he just rushed. This is a mysterious cow. Something is going to happen to my boss. But that is putting neck on my neck, and 10 minutes continuously she is not leaving me. Then he told, I had taken advance to sell this cow because she is mischievous. Then what she is telling me, am I mischievous? Why they put the knife into my neck? That immediately he understood Ramakrishna. This cow is so much loving my boss. Immediately he said that I will not sell this cow. This is 2012, of course, 4 deliveries took place, and that is the consciousness awareness. We have to listen what either cow, animal, bird, anything. Let's continue. These are the products made from this herbal, which are natural farming. It's the cow-based farming. Next, please. This is the one we call the Kalproksha. This is the Kalproksha, Mamsarohini. This is the Kalproksha, Brahmamlika. Brahmamlika is the London Food Festival 3 years back. They put, what is the best juice on the planet? This fruit juice is there. This life of the tree is 8,000 years already identified in South Africa and also Amazon. And this seed is the costliest seed oil on the planet. See, our people how recognize this Kalproksha. We call Kalpaka. Next. See the beauty of this trees per plant, per person. Look at the Canada has got 8,953 plants per head. This Russia has got Russia, how many? 4,500 plants. America, United States, 760 plants per head. China has got 102, and India, look at the India, is only 28 plants. We call them the sacred plant. They are all this. It's only this 75 years. Nothing but it's simply we cut the trees and we are not consuming the type of these herbs, this type of plants. What is there? Only British after that, British rule and others, Mughal rule. We lost our sacred heritage plants, and we are talking only those plants which are not important. These herbs. They are life savers, life givers. Those things we lost, and today all this we are begging. India is begging every country just because of this. Even though we have such a powerful knowledge, Yajna, the Sanskriti, Sampradaya, all this we lost. This is the where today this Yajna is started just because we want to bring it back. India is only one can show to the whole world which is going to happen in 15, 20 years. Only through herbs, because the Yajna is the one which is so much, it purifies. Swakalyanam, Vishwakalyanam. Next, please. See the value of the tree. 55 years old tree is a 4.81 crores. That means $48 million. How much that is? $48 million. 4.8 million.
It's not.
Let me come. Time and then.
340.
2 minutes of luck.
5 minutes. This is the biodiversity. Live with the nature. These birds all available. Those from Russia and other countries. See my lake. What birds are there? They're all flamingo birds. This is the beauty of this place. Yes. These are all awards. This is only in India. We are in the world. The resorts got the award. That is what award it is?
Cities for life.
IGBC.
Biodiversity.
IGBC. Frank, go.
This is
IGBC platform.
world has got
National
only two. IGBC, that is,
Platform India.
this is our vice president today, that is award about environment. These are biodiversity time what we have got. Continue, please. Continue.
Next.
Continue, just
Yeah, thank you.
so now, what I am requesting all, whatever is made this type of herbal and medicinal in Hyderabad, our school system, our education system, we follow only British rule system. Still education, we don't know about our plants, we don't know about our Ayurveda, naturopathy, or allopathy, only allopathy, no naturopathy, no Ayurveda, no Nani, no. This type of things are lost. We request our Indian government to make sure that bring the education system about these herbs. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, he brought 21 Patrikas Ganpati, but still that is also gone. As a socialistic country, we said that, we don't want to talk about our own heritage plants, but heritage, all the other things, people talk about it. But we need today, everyone, as Indian, we should be. I am not, not criticizing, but our people are doctors, medical doctors, allopathy doctors. They should not, everything is made from the herbs only. So we should get into our Indian culture, that is Sampradaya. Pragati, sustainable development practices provided the only answer to the two potential threats of the world, hunger and environment. Hunger means what we are eating is a poison. Hunger means to satisfy our natural farming food to use, not simply putting into storage in the freezer food and all. These herbs ultimately is going to bring the whole environment, like, without corona, without diseases, without bad bacteria. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone.
Thank you, Dr. G.B.K. Rao garu. See, one statistic which is given that India has got 20 trees per person in India, and 28, and the world average is 400, around 400. Whereas 5,000 trees in Pragati. So that shows why he is known locally here as the urban man of India. So now I request Dr. John to speak. Before that, I would like to ask Dr. Nikla to introduce the speaker.
Namaste. I would like to introduce Professor John Kanhas. He has worked personally with Maharshi Mahesh Yogi for nearly 40 years in all aspects of development of Maharshi's Vedic science, with a special emphasis on Maharshi's Vedic education and Maharshi's Vedic organic agriculture. Dr. Kanhas consults with the Maharshi Vedic organic agricultural projects around the world to ensure that the principles of Vedic agriculture are upheld in all their purity and effectiveness, to ensure that the projects can be certified as Maharshi Vedic Organic. Dr. Kanhas is a senior administrator of the Global Country of World Peace for the countries of Japan, Hungary, Egypt, Jamaica, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and Somalia. Raja Kanhas, along with his wife, Sara Kanhas, are the founders of Maharshi Vedic Leadership Forum, a global forum founded in 2017 to develop the highest quality of leadership capable of establishing permanent world peace. We're glad to have you, Dr. Kanhas.
Yeah, unmute, asking. Can you unmute Dr. John? Can you? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sorry. Jai Gurudev. It's nice to be with you all again. To have such a collection of Vedic scholars and Vaidyas and agriculturists is really rare today. And so it's a precious opportunity for us to share things together. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Maha. Maharshi once told me to say this shloka before giving any presentation. because he said, if you bring the blessings of the tradition, bring the blessings of the master, then you don't speak as an individual. You speak as a representative of the tradition, the Vedic tradition of India. And all of the speakers have appreciated that value and appreciated the source of their knowledge. I remember back in 2000, the year 2000, Maharshi called me one day and he said, now is the time to bring out the knowledge of Vedic agriculture. And I was quite surprised because I had spent so many years with Maharshi on really Veda and Vedanta. And I didn't think that agriculture would ever come into the picture. But he was very keen on the fact that purity of food was completely essential for not only the general population, but particularly the pundits. If the pundits don't have pure Vedic food, they can't develop the quality of physiology that's required to make these sounds, these Vedic sounds perfectly. And so he set my wife and I to read through all of the Vedic literature, the Ved, the Vedanga, the Upanga, the Itihasa, every different aspect of the literature. And he said, find every reference to agriculture so we can have a complete picture of what the Ved and the Vedic literature have to say about agriculture. And it took us several years to do this task and to read through it all. But we began to get a picture emerged as to how Vedic agriculture was really performed. And Maharshi finally decided an approach based on the 8 Prakritis of nature, that they were the most fundamental level of nature's functioning. And we've seen many times during these days how the finer levels of nature, the Pashanti and the Para level, is much more powerful and can easily influence all of the other levels. So I want to share with you now just a brief summary of what Maharshi taught us and the angle that he taught, the angle that he gave us about Vedic agriculture. It's quite fascinating and it's quite unique. It's very, very revolutionary, really. It's a new paradigm in agriculture. So let me share my screen with you and I'll go through this presentation. And I hope we'll have some time at the end to answer any questions you might have. Okay, so can you see my screen all right? Can you hear all right? Somebody could say?
Yes, we are getting you.
Okay, good.
I can hear them.
Okay, so
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
okay, very good. This
We are
presentation
getting.
is on behalf of Maharshi Vedic Organic Agriculture Institute, which is an educational organization established in Australia, India, and the United States. This is Maharshi Ji, who's the founder of this very profound knowledge. And the title is Maharshi Vedic Organic Agriculture and Environmental Relationships. And the theme that Maharshi established for Vedic agriculture was agreeing with the culturing intelligence of total natural law. Using the best scientific and organic practices, along with the technologies of India's Vedic heritage, to improve crop quality, productivity, and the environment. Maharshi said we could create Vedic food for Vedic consciousness. That's what the goal was. This is the tradition, the Shankaracharya tradition from which Maharshi comes, and the knowledge is traced back to this tradition. Here's Maharshi speaking to a group of farmers, and in a week's time, he initiated taught transcendental meditation to 30,000 farmers. It was a monumental feat. So Vedic agriculture is an aspect of Maharshi's Vedic science. And the purpose of all Vedic science, no matter what the technology or methodology, whether it's farming or whether it's meditation, it's to create a relationship between the individual mind and the cosmic mind, the individual physiology and the cosmic physiology, the individual life and cosmic life. It's a new paradigm in agriculture. It's not just a minor change. It's a whole new emphasis. We call it the field paradigm. And the key element is establishing a nourishing, consciousness-based relationship with nature. Because this relationship between the farmer and his crops and his fields and his animals, and I know you all feel that practice Vedic agriculture. We just saw the cow hugging technique. This relationship with the environment is the foundation of Vedic agriculture. Here's the old paradigm. We use the ocean to illustrate. In the old paradigm, the farmer, the crops, and the weather, they were separate. They were different. They were not connected. In the Vedic paradigm, everything is connected from the source. So the farmer is connected to his crops, is connected to the weather through this field of consciousness. And to do that, we use this Vedic phrase from the Upanishad, Kasmin nu bhagavo vigyate, sarvamidam vigyatam bhavatiti. Know that by which everything else is known. Do by which everything else is done. Now, here's a real surprise for me. When Maharishi said he was going to bring out Vedic agriculture, the first sentence that he uttered was Vedic agriculture is Brahma Vidya. Now, I had thought Brahma Vidya was Upanishads, Vedanta. How could agriculture qualify as Brahma Vidya? And here's the secret. Vedic agriculture encompasses the full range of life, and Brahm, or Brahman consciousness, encompasses the full range of life. So if we start from Atma, the Atma of the farmer, and then from there we go to Ved, the expression of Atma. Ved is just reverberating Atma. We come to Sharir, the physiology, and then the Vishwa. When we put Atma, Ved, Sharir, and Vishwa together, we get Brahm. And that's what Vedic agriculture does. Vedic agriculture doesn't stop at Atma or Ved or Sharir. Vedic agriculture includes the entire universe. Now, here's a story I want to tell you from the Upanishads. Pause for a second here and go back to, how do I go back? Can you see me again now or not? Do I get? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to tell you a story from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the story of King Prithu, and it really encompasses a lot of the essence of Vedic agriculture. King Prithu came to power, became a king at a time when there was a severe drought in the land, and Mother Earth had withdrawn all of the herbs, all of the food materials. And so the people were starving. And so King Prithu, he went to Mother Earth, who had taken the form of a cow. And he said, please give back the food stuff. My people are starving. And Mother Earth said, I can't, and I won't do it. And she began to run away. And King Prithu started chasing after her. And finally, Mother Earth tired, and she stopped. And King Prithu drew his bow and said, if you don't bring back the crops, I'm going to dispatch you. And Mother Earth said, Well,
Dr.
better be
John,
careful.
Dr. John, can I interrupt for a minute?
Yeah.
We're unable to see your PowerPoint. Can you show your PowerPoint, please? PowerPoint, yes, disappear.
Yeah, no, I'm not showing the PowerPoint right now. I
Sorry.
stopped it to tell you a story in person before I go back to the slides, okay? So this is the story of King Prithu, which you saw that one slide before I left. So now Mother Earth said, I can't bring back the food because of one reason. It says in our scriptures that to feed those who are involved in a dharma is a sin. And I don't want to commit the sin of feeding a dharma. But she said, if you begin to change that, if you change your people, if you give them the essence of meditation, dharna, dhyan, samadhi, give them these three values, and they will return to dharma. And so King Prithu did that. And the moment the people came back to dharma, the earth brought forth all of her abundance again. So this is an essential quality in Vedic agriculture, and that is bringing dharma back to society. Okay, so now can you see the PowerPoint again? Can you see the PowerPoint okay? Hello?
Yes, John. Yes, John. Go ahead. Go ahead. We are seeing it.
Okay, now I want to show you a quick thing that's happening in the world today, and which is why the food has gone downhill, like in the story of King Prithu, and like brought out by our speakers. This little graph starting at the year 1900 will show you the change in temperature in our world. As the year, I'm going to play a video, and as the years progress, each of these bars around the circle represents one country in the world. And you'll see how the temperature is changing. The more red the temperature becomes, the hotter it's becoming. So let me see if I can play this video. So you see it's pretty good now in the 1900s, early 1900s. Most are blue or yellow. Only in Europe you see some red coming on. But now you see Asia starting to heat up, and Africa. Now Europe is getting very hot. Asia is getting very hot. Now the whole world is getting very hot. So you see what's happening here. Because of the adharma of people, the world is changing. So here's what Vedic agriculture says. All of our agriculture programs must address human intervention in the natural environment and offer programs to help man act in accord with natural law instead of against it. Our survival depends on it. Maharshi Vedic organic agriculture is the most viable solution to this environmental imbalance, and I'm going to explain that to you. First of all, Vedic knowledge is universal knowledge. It's not just Indian knowledge. It's applicable at all times, in all places, all cultures, and all environments. Vedic agriculture does not require any specific agriculture practice. It supports all local organic practices because the agriculture in South America is different than the agriculture in Siberia. It depends upon the climate and the conditions. Vedic agriculture is profound in theory, it's simple in scientific in practice, and it can be applied holistically. And here's the important point, to change the entire farming environment. You know, we could look at problems and solutions and problems and solutions, how to purify the water, how to grow the herbs, how to take care of the cows. These are all important, but Vedic agriculture changes the entire environment simultaneously because it does it from a profound level. Now, just to understand Vedic agriculture, you need to understand how nature's structured. And we've had quite a bit of this over the last few days, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. You've seen that atoms and electrons and protons are all made up of very fine particles, ultimately vibrating strings. And this is important, that vibration is the basis of creation. And Yajna approaches changing creation by changing the fundamental vibrations. Here's a quick video that shows you more graphically what this looks like. So the importance of this simply is that because the foundation of the environment is vibration, we can use Vedic vibration to correct any imbalances. So now here's how Vedic science looks at the same structure of nature. We have a different angle, but the principle's the same. Bhumir apo nalo vayu kam mano buddhir evacha ahankara ityame vinna prakritim ashtada. The 8 prakritis, earth, water, fire, air, akasha, mind, intellect, and ego. Lord Krishna says, this is my divided nature. My whole nature is consciousness, but my divided nature is the prakritis. Maharshi says 8 values are to be known. Infinity within itself unfolds its inner content in terms of 8. What are these 8? When we understand them in terms of the total field of knowledge, then these 8 are the 8 qualities of dynamism, 8 dynamic values within one holistic dynamic value. The Ashtaprakriti are the collections of natural laws responsible for dynamically structuring and expressing different aspects of natural law, such as structure, fluidity, metabolism, photosynthesis, respiration, orientation in space, mind, intellect, and ego. Now, I want to show you how fundamental the 8 prakritis are in Vedic understanding, because it'll be the basis of our Vedic agriculture technologies. Within Atma, the basic fundamental vibrations of Atma are the 8 swaras, okay, the 8 vowels in the Sanskrit alphabet. These are the fundamental expressions of the prakritis. And then each of those 8 vowels has a corresponding prakriti, as you can see in the chart. A is Bhumi, I, Apaha, U, Agni, Re, Vayu, etc. So that's the fundamental structure of Atma. Now, this is also seen in the Ved. The same structure is found in the Ved. Here is the first Richa of the first Sukta. And it's made up of 3 padas, each with 8 aksharas. So this 8-fold structure, the 8 aksharas of the first mandala correspond to the 8 prakritis. It continues in the Ved, where we have 8 mandalas between 1 and 10. 1 and 10 represent Purusha and Paraprakriti, and between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 9 represent the 8 mandalas of the 8 prakritis. So now, once we know that the fundamental structure of nature is 8-fold, is the Ashtaprakritis, let's see how it expresses in the life of plants. We want to enliven 8 fundamental principles in the plant's physiology. And that intelligence will then create a healthy plant. Here's how it works. If we enliven Bhumi Prakriti, we influence the structure quality of the plants, like the trunks and the stems. If we enliven Apaha Prakriti, we enliven the fluid systems, the flow of sap in the plants. If we enliven Agni, we enliven photosynthesis. Vayu, plant respiration. Akasha, plant location base. Manas, the flow of information in the plant. Buddhi, the distinguishing and deciding quality of the plant's awareness. And Ahankara, the self-referral. So here's what it looks like. Here's a typical tree, and you can see, number one, Bhumi is represented in the trunk and the structure. Apaha is represented in the flow of fluids through the trunk. Agni is represented in the metabolism and photosynthesis, which happens in the leaves. Vayu is represented in the leaves in their breathing in carbon dioxide, breathing out oxygen. Akasha represents the flow in space. Manas, the flowering, Buddhi, the fruit, and Ahankara, the new seeds. Same structure in the animals, you see, with the different systems of the gaseous systems, the metabolic systems, the cardiovascular systems. Same thing in plants, and same thing in man. This is extremely important that the 8 Prakritis are all pervading in nature. So if we affect the fundamental Prakritis in nature, we affect everywhere in nature. And that's the key that Maharshi discovered about Vedic agriculture. Now, why is this understanding of the eightfold nature of life important? Why do we analyze everything in terms of the Prakritis? This is the answer. The Vedic structure of the 8 Prakritis gives a simple and comprehensive way of organizing everything in the physical and biological world from a single control point, the control point of the 8 structuring dynamics of natural law, the Prakritis. Managing and balancing the Prakritis allows us to manage the entire environment and all its components in accord with natural law. So Vedo Akilo Dharma Mula. Ved is the root and source of all natural law. So it's the structure of Ved, the 8 Prakritis, to influence everything in nature through natural law. So modern science, Vedic science, they see the same reality. They see it in different ways. They see it in different terminologies. Modern science is still at the mercy of nature. Vedic science enjoys the blessing of nature. That's the beauty of Vedic science. Now, what about organic agriculture? The program that Maharshi brought out was Maharshi Vedic Organic Agriculture, not just Maharshi Vedic Agriculture. Vedic agriculture has its foundation in organic agriculture. Vedic agriculture begins with organic agriculture. The purity inherent in organic agriculture is an essential requirement of Vedic agriculture. So Maharshi Vedic organic agriculture is reconnecting nature, reconnecting man with nature through organic agriculture. And this means, first of all, restoring purity, naturalness, sustainability to the farmer, the food, and the environment. Here's the international definition of organic agriculture. It's a production system that sustains the health of soils, ecosystems, and people. It relies on ecological processes, biodiversity, and cycles adapted to local conditions, rather than the use of inputs with adverse effects. Organic agriculture combines tradition, innovation, and science to benefit the shared environment and promote fair relationships and good quality of life for everyone. Now, what makes it Vedic? Maharshi, Vedic organic agriculture is concerned with the integrated and balanced link between man's intelligence and nature's intelligence. So you see, we've shifted to a very fundamental level. We want to connect the deepest part of man with the deepest part of nature. Maharshi said, we put it in one sentence, Vedic agriculture is agreeing with the culturing intelligence of total natural law. Total natural law, the intelligence of natural law, the culturing intelligence of natural law. We want a relationship with that intelligence. And that intelligence is the 8 Prakritis. It looks like this. We want to go from diversity to unity and back to diversity. That's the practice of Vedic agriculture. We want agriculture to agree with the culturing intelligence of natural law and then become Vedic agriculture in agreement with natural law. And you see the Damru structure here. The Damru structure shows we go from diversity to unity and back to diversity. It's the contact with unity that makes Vedic agriculture Vedic. Here it is in the life of a tree. The diverse tree converges to the seed and reemerges as a new tree. And throughout the life, the evolution of the tree, it's tree, seed, tree, seed. This So that's the theory. Now let me talk to you about the practice. What are the procedures we use to reconnect man with nature? And just remembering now that that connection is really the essence of Vedic agriculture, because once man is connected to natural law, he always do the right thing in his farming practices. No more pollution, no more anything wrong, but spontaneously, not by convincing him, but by connecting him back to nature. So first of all, Maharshi's technologies of consciousness to develop the full potential of the farmer's mind and consciousness. Number 2, Vedic sounds, Vedic yagya to enliven specific laws of nature at stage in the life of plants and animals. Maharshi Jyotish to attune in harmony with natural law. So you all probably now have had a clear understanding of Maharshi's TM and TM City program. So again, I won't spend much time. You must develop the inner quality of the farmer in order to make him aware enough to reconnect to nature. The way TM works, we transcend from the Vaikari level of speech to the Madhyama, to the Vashanti and the Para. Maharshi says this transcend will allow us to contact the internal dynamics of nature. And here's, I wanted to show you what happens to the brain in meditation. This is a Japan. When we're thinking the mantra on the surface level, on the Vaikari level, the brain has one quality of function, here shown in red. But when we're perceiving the mantra on the Pashanti and Para level, a whole new quality of brain functioning starts, a completely coherent, clear, energetic, creative quality of awareness. And that's what happens just by this experience of transcending. Here's a summary point from Maharshi. With transcendental meditation, the farmer evolves himself. In doing so, he evolves the whole system. All the plants and animals are just parts of the ecosystem. So as the farmer changes, everything changes with him due to his connection with the universal due to the farmer's connection with the environment. Man as an individual can affect the whole system, the whole environment. This is groundbreaking knowledge. You take a farmer, you evolve the farmer, you higher consciousness, a higher appreciation, connection to nature, and as he changes, everything changes with him. Here's a chart that shows what happens when brain coherence increases, all aspects of life increase. Now, this program, again, you've already heard this, is one of the most thoroughly developed and researched programs in history. This is Vedic science exposed to modern science, with extensive governmental, medical, and university endorsements and support for its health, professional management, and job benefits. Some just simple sample: National Institute of Health, USA, paying for research in transcendental meditation. American Heart Association, Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, the two top clinics in America, Ministry of Education, Great Britain, governments of Brazil, Mexico, and many others. The world is waking up to the value of Vedic knowledge. Now, before I talk about the Ashtaprakriti Yagya, which is the essence of Vedic agriculture, let me quickly review in 6 simple steps the mechanics of Maharshi Yagya. The Pandits recite the Sankalpa, or intention of the Yagya. This Sankalpa remains lively in the full range of the Pandits' awareness as the purpose of the Yagya. The Pandits always have to have the Sankalpa lively so they know where to direct the Vedic energy. Then the Pandits combine and perform specific Vedic recitations. They take recitations from Rig Veda or Samaveda or Yajurveda. They take mantras whose reverberations, intelligence, and organizing power are traditionally known to be effective in accomplishing the specific intention of the yagya. These recitations, in modern terminology, contain specific impulses of natural law. In Vedic terminology, these impulses, or Vedic mantras, are the names of the devatas. So the mantras are the names of the devatas. The specific functional expressions of natural law. The devatas are the expressions of natural law which will fulfill the Sankalpa. Maharishi explains this relationship. The Vedic sounds, or the Vedic hymns, they are the devatas themselves, no difference. We take this to a practical level. If you want the support of any devata, you recite the name of the devata, as expressed in the mantras of the Veda. And then we have enlivened the devata in our awareness. The devata gets enlivened in the Pandit's awareness. You speak the devata. We have enlivened the devata in our words. We think the devata. We have brought the form of the devata into our thought, in our feelings, in our emotions. This is important in the process of performing yagya. Then, based on the principle of nama rupa, from the name of the devata, the form of the devata appears. We chant the name, the form appears. And we saw this in our Soma Yagya. The intelligence and the organizing power of the devata come forth, and they get enlivened in the Pandit's consciousness and physiology. At the finest level of yagya performance, from the Pashanti and Para levels of the Pandit's awareness, the Pandit's individual consciousness has the value of universal consciousness, the Atma level. And therefore, the individual devatas in the Pandit's mind and physiology get enlivened in their universal or cosmic values. It's the cosmic level of the devata, or cosmic intelligence, since it's all pervading, that fulfills the sankalpa of the yagya. independent of time-space restrictions. The yagya can thus create specific anywhere based on the sankalpa and the mechanics of. So here's the key to yagya. How does the yagya performed in South India affect the world? It's because the pundits are reciting the mantras from the level of Atma. And Atma is all pervading. So the effects of those mantras are all pervading. Veda Kila Dharma Mula. Ved is the root of all natural laws. Now, let's look at not yagya in general, but yagya in specific. And this is the Maharshi Ashtaprakriti Yagya program. And Maharshi got this yagya. Maharshi got this yagya from long, long tradition. Brahma performed this in Pushkar at the beginning of creation, this Maha Ashtaprakriti Yagya. It's so fundamental to creation. And we can use it to balance and support and nourish plant and animal life at every stage. The Maharshi Ashtaprakriti Yagya contains the specific Vedic procedures to rebalance the fundamental dynamics of the environment, the 8 Prakritis. We use the sounds of natural law, which are the Vedic mantras specific for each Prakriti. So in designing this yagya, Maharshi asked that we get all of the mantras that enliven Bhumi, and all of the mantras that enliven Apaha, and all of the mantras that enliven Agni, no matter which Veda they came from or which part of the Vedas they came from. And so that's why the yagya is so comprehensive, because it pulls from all of the different Vedic texts and it makes it very comprehensive. Now, what's the value of this approach in yagya? The Vedic structure of the 8 Prakritis gives us a simple and comprehensive way of organizing everything in the physical and biological world from a single control point, the 8 structuring dynamics of natural law. Managing the 8 Prakritis, now here's the important point, listen carefully. Managing the 8 Prakritis allows us to manage any specific element of the environment or the entire environment and all that's going to enjoy full support of nature. When we enliven, balance, nourish the 8 Prakritis through yagyas, we can balance the entire environment holistically. It's a miracle. And we've proven this now with this practice. By enlivening, balancing, and directing the 8 Prakritis and their devatas, we can create any desired effect in the environment and fulfill any sankalpa. This knowledge is the foundation of this yagya. And Maharishi says we must have Vedic authenticity for everything we do. There are 8 Prakritis, and we need to expose the plant to all 8 during its lifetime. 8 Prakritis, 8 Devatas, and the enlivenment of these 8. And I'll show you how it works in the life of a plant. When we plant the seeds in the life, this is like the sanskaras. You know, we have 16 sanskaras in human life. Well, the plants have 8 sanskaras, and this is the 8 sanskaras represented here. And for each sanskara, each stage in the life of the plant, we do a specific yagya for the 8 Prakritis. So we do the Bhumi yagya when we plant the seeds. We do the Apaha yagya when the first rains or the irrigation comes. We do the Agni Prakriti yagya when the plant emerges to the sun. We do the Vayu yagya when the plants begin to breathe through their leaves. We do the Akasha yagya when the plant is fully grown. We do the Manas yagya when the plant begins to flower. We do the Buddhi yagya when the plant begins to bear fruit. And we do the Ahankara yagya when the plant produces new seeds. And here's one of the yagyas. Here's the pundits, assembled in the greenhouse in our university. getting ready to do this Ashtaprakriti Yajna. The emphasis with these pundits is always the chant from the level of Pashanti and Para, so the effect can be widespread. And what happens? Now, the final thing I want to offer to you is what happens when we do these Vedic procedures. How does it change the quality of food? Because this is the bottom line. What we want to do is change the quality of the environment, balance it with the Ashtaprakriti Yajna. That means that the plants grow in a balanced environment and the physiology of the plants themselves become balanced. Now, when the animals and the humans eat this food, which is enlivened in total natural law, then the 8 organ systems within the human physiology become balanced because of, and I'll show you this now. Here's 2 phrases I'm sure all of you as farmers are aware of. Mind depends upon the quality of food we eat. Jaisa kave an vaisa bane man. And even a much more perfect one from Ramayana. Yad anaha purusho bhavati tad hanastasya devataha. The food that we eat, the food that we take into our bodies, the devatas that reside within our physiology, they have to eat the same food. So if you eat junk food, you're feeding the intelligence of your body with junk food. If you eat the beautiful food that's being produced on these Vedic farms and these places like we're having our yajna, then the devatas that are invoked in the yajna get enlivened in the food and in our physiology. So the qualities of Vedic food: pure, fresh, fully ripened. We don't pick fruit very green and then expect it to ripen in the storehouse. It should be ripened in the natural environment and grown in accord with all the laws of nature. So to summarize, Maharshi Vedic organic agriculture develops the full potential of the farmer, provides the highest quality of pure, nutritious food for perfect health, promotes balance in the environment, and enlivens the laws of nature to create health, harmony, coherence, and prosperity. Vedic organic India, this is our goal. We'd like this knowledge to be widespread by 2024. I've developed a Vedic agriculture training course of 40 hours of lectures, and it's available now. I'd like to get it introduced in all of India's agriculture universities and all of the Vedic universities, so that the knowledge of Vedic agriculture has a firm foundation in the educational systems of India, and then bringing it to the farmers with very simple courses and bringing it to the pundits to train them in these yajnas. So Jai Gurudev.
Thank you.
Jai Gurudev Raja.
Jai Gurudev. Happy to answer any questions if there are any.
Yes.
Jai Gurudev Raj Johnji. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Jai
The,
Gurudev.
the consumption which in the whole world is the junk food, what you said, how to bring it back helps. This is what we call some of these vanamulikas, which unless consumption is there, people will not grow. So how to bring the consumption more and more? India itself, we lost, where that's why they become endangered. All the plants, whatever for Yajna, these plants, what the Yajna required, you don't find, except in Pragati Sudhama. Almost for the whole world, we can supply the mother plant seeds. Trillions of seeds every day we get in 2,500 acres. How to promote and bring the consumption, the whole world?
It's a very good question, and it's a question that the organic agriculture industry, which is the precursor of Vedic agriculture, they have faced for many years, but they have grown steadily. The organic agriculture segment of the agriculture market is the fastest growing segment, growing almost 20% per year. But obviously it has a long way to go. But one of the key principles in Vedic science is that knowledge has organizing power. The work that you're doing to bring knowledge, the work that you're doing to demonstrate how effective the plants are, it won't go unnoticed. And if we begin on a Maharshi always wanted to do things on a massive scale. My goal now is to, as I say, introduce the Vedic knowledge of Vedic agriculture in every educational institution in India. It's not difficult these days with technology, Zoom calls, or video recorded lectures. We can really get this knowledge widely distributed. That's the first point. The second point is Maharshi felt that we're going through a phase transition. This corona is a purification in society. It's a changing time. The Jyotish says we're headed for a new world. The old world, as you very effectively pointed out, is just not working. The food's not working. The environment's not working. Nothing's working. And so the environment, Mother Earth, has decided, like in the King Prithu story, Mother Earth is drawing the line and saying it's time to change, whether you want to change or not. And it's going to happen. So I can say that basically a change in time, a change in consciousness, these large groups of siddhas that Raja Luis is creating throughout India, hundreds of thousands of young children practicing meditation. This will change the underlying vibration of society, and people will start to think better, and they won't even know why they're thinking better. They'll just start thinking better because the atmosphere is coherent. When people think negatively or stressed, it's because there's so much stress in the environment. So I know it's a challenge, and I know the farmers. But you know, already I think 2 states of India have gone organic. I think Uttarakhand's getting ready to go organic. As soon as that happens, you will only be able to buy organic food in those states because that's all that will be produced. These are governmental changes. And the reason it has to happen is because nature can't bear it anymore. It's unfortunate that now India is the most polluted country in the world. And therefore, India will change most quickly, I feel, because nature will demand it. So take heart. I think we can do it if we stay united and we educate, and we show results. You're showing beautiful results from your work. People will want to see, as soon as they're educated, they'll want to see, okay, show us the proof. We'll send them down to you and they'll be able to see the proof.
What my request is, we have to bring it into the education syllabus. That is more important. The future generation, they don't know what is our the herbs, what we use in Agna. This conducting Agnas and creating awareness, and particularly the school education must be brought. This subject is the biodiversity, environment. This subject for everyone, not just for environment is separate section. Even botanical people, they don't know all the British style. That is where only English. That is except these plants, except this. Every education is today. This Bharat, Punya Bhumi, Karma Bhumi has got this heritage plants. How to bring these heritage plants in the education system? That is what my request. All we have to focus on our education system. Introduce the traditional medicinal plants.
100% agreed, 100%. And that's what I just mentioned, basically. As soon as I can get back to India, I want to begin offering this course. I'm going to offer it free of charge to universities so they can all offer it. It's exactly what Maharshi wants to do. And this is exactly what the Maharshi Foundation in India is doing, teaching Vedic science in all the schools by the hundreds of thousands. And governments are seeing it and they're thinking, yes, this is good. Your wish will come fulfilled. I guarantee you, your wish will come fulfilled. Otherwise, we're all in trouble if it doesn't.
every day we must conduct yajna. That is the only way we can bring the force onto the government, the rulers, that to introduce in the school syllabus. Unless we conduct the everyday yajna, this type of yajnas, which is purifying the whole five elements and this gift, this corona is a gift to the whole world, that opening our eyes, that nothing else. We have to follow the yajna.
Yes, and that's what you're doing. That's what we're doing. We have in the center of India about 2,000 pundits together. They've been living there for many, many years, doing Rudrabhishek every day for world peace. And in cooperation with a very great industrialist, G.K. G.K. Kale in Pune, we're building India's largest yajna center with 1,000 pundits from all four Veds who will be doing yajnas of all kinds every day. And it's a beautiful undertaking. It should be finished in about 2 years, but it'll really revive all aspects of the Vedic tradition, all the Pandit shakas. There's so many of the Vedic shakas that are fading out. There's no more young people doing the yajnas. So I hope that we can all continue our emphasis in yajna and in training new Pandits and supporting the Vedic families. And they will.
Yeah, but
I don't see it's going to be too long. It's not going to be too long. We already have plans where we'll get major sponsors for yajnas from the Western countries. They'll pay $1 million, $2 million to get yajnas done for their problems. And this is when everything will change. When you can make a good living being a pundit, many of Indians' young Brahmins will take to this profession so their families can be supported. It always has to have an economic basis. And that's what the yajnas will start to produce, the desire for more yajnas. We're in for a good time. Don't worry about the past. We're in for a good time.
our ex-Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, 1972, in New York, promised that 2% of GDP will spend for this type of helps, that is environment. But till today, nothing is happened. Biodiversity programs are happening, but this is the future generation. They will curse us if we only brought this pollution. We only have to solve the problem. So there is nothing else. We have to focus on this particular our Indian heritage plants. Like the same Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan, both the border. It is 20,000 hectares. UNESCO is preserved that place. They are asking me to take over that place to bring back the herbs into cultivation. Otherwise, they're constructing the resorts and many other industries that they stop the anyone entering into that. Such things we should have. When IGNA is there, we should conduct a number of programs so that it will be brought, because of the thanks to our social media, it spreads everywhere. Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure that you have taken a lot of interest in such a Maharishi Yajna.
Yeah, and let me end with one very great secret from Maharshi and a fundamental principle of Vedic science. And that's whatever you bring into your mind comes into your heart and becomes part of your life. So it's so important in Vedic science to always focus on progress, creativity, enlightenment, and yajna, things, meditation. Don't waste time criticizing the past. Don't waste time thinking how bad the problem is. Don't think about why people are not doing this and that. It just brings all of that negativity into your heart. So just Maharshi said, be very alert what you entertain in your mind. Just think, I'm going to make yajna successful. Don't think, well, why yajna has not been successful. Think, I'm going to bring herbs to every family in India. Don't think nobody's using herbs right now. Just think what you want to happen, and that will happen. And we can do it together. We have to do it. As you say, the future generations are counting on us, and we don't want to fail them. So we just want to keep going until we succeed. And this is what Maharshi gave us. He gave us this blessing. He gave us this knowledge. He gave us the revival of the essence of the Vedic knowledge, which has the power to transform society. We just have to do it. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Guru.
Jai Gurudev.
Raja John, I would like to add one point here. So I've been to GS College place in Pune several times, myself and Dr. J.R. Raju. It's a beautiful place. As you said, it will take 2 years from now to be ready. No, equally, you can match it in all respects. The entire infrastructure is ready. Now you can start even today. The entire infrastructure for Yajna is already ready here. So this, my suggestion is that you can plan right now. You can just see the infrastructure here available here. And I just ask Dr. Jayaraj to tell, comparison both the colleges and this one.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to start Yajnas very soon. I was just referring to the completion date of the, but he's going to start with Yajna and build from there. So as soon as the pandemic allows the pundits to come together, he will draw the best pundits. And every pundit in India will aspire to learn, to go to this center, and it'll create great excellence in the Vedic knowledge. And that's what we want. But all of you are such great leaders of the Vedic knowledge. These yajnas you're doing are just a savior for the world. I mean, we all deeply congratulate you. We deeply appreciate all you're doing, especially at this challenging time. And I'm looking forward to getting back into India and joining all of you for this very precious activity.
Most welcome.
Thank you. Now I have a proud privilege to welcome Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria ji. He just, his flight got delayed and he rushed to the home just to be with our webinar. He's, he would like to, we have 1 minute, Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria ji. We have Mr. Brahmashri Kapre Guruji. He's the president of Sapta Maha Soma Yagas. I will ask you to just speak a few words.
वरुणा स्वस्ति पथ्ये रेवती स्वस्ति इन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च स्वस्ति नो अदिते कृधि स्वस्ति पन्था मनुचरेम सूर्या चन्द्रमसा विवा पुनर्ददताघ्नता जानता संगमे मही स्वस्त्ययनन्तार्क्ष्यमरिष्टनेमिं महद्भूतं वायसं देवतानाम् असुरघ्नमिन्द्रसखं समत्सु बृहद्यशो नावमिवारुहेमा अमुहोमुचमाङ्गिरसङ्गयं च स्वस्त्यात्रेयं मनसा चतार्क्ष्यम् प्रयतपाणिश्च प्रपद्ये स्वस्ति सम्बाधेष्वभयं नो अस्तु सन्मङ्गलानि भवन्तु। महान् सन्तोषः अत्र बृहस्पतिसमसमेत वाजपेययज्ञस्य अनुष्ठानम् अत्यन्तं श्रद्धया उत्तमप्रकारेण चलति। अनेके कार्यक्रमाः अनेन निमित्तेन अस्मिन् प्रगति उद्यानवने भवन्ति। अस्य उपवनस्य आश्रमस्य संस्थापकः श्रीमान् राव महोदयः अभिवादनीयः। तस्य सर्वेपि सहायकाः अपि अत्यन्तं श्रेष्ठाः। महर्षिः अत्रिः ऋग्वेदस्य पंचमे मण्डले भगवन्तं प्रार्थयते सा एव प्रार्थना अस्मिन् सन्दर्भे सर्वेषां कृते शुभाशी रूपा इति मत्वा अहं तस्य किञ्चित् विवरणं वक्ष्यामि। महर्षिः अत्रिः एवं वदति, स्वस्ति पन्थाम् अनुचरेम सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ इव। राहुल నేను సంస్కృతంలో మాట్లాడుతూ
తెలుగు మాట్లాడడానికి బాగుంది.
మహర్షి అత్రి గారు అంటున్నారు, స్వస్తి పంథాం అనుచరేమ, చాలా ఉత్తమమైన మార్గం మీద మనము నడుస్తాం. ఆ మార్గం ఎటువంటిది అంటే సూర్య చంద్రమస వివ, जैसे सूर्य और चंद्र अपने मार्ग पर अटल रहते हैं और अविरत चलते हैं और कभी भी अपने मार्ग का त्याग नहीं करते। हम मनुष्यों को, विशेषतः भारतीयों को और विशेषतः जो परमात्मा के अनुसंधान करने वाले हैं और अपना और पूरे विश्व का हित चाहते हैं, उन लोगों के लिए यह आवश्यक है कि हम अपने वेदों ने बताए हुए सनातन मार्ग पर अटल रहे, मार्ग का त्याग ना करें। और उस मार्ग पर चलते हुए हमें क्या करना है, तो आगे कहा उन्होंने, पुनर्ददता, अघनता और जानता, हम एक साथ चलेंगे। हम कोई भेद नहीं करेंगे कि ये मेरा है, वो काला है, वो पूरब का है, वो पश्चिम का है, वो उत्तर का है, वो दक्षिण का है, ऐसा कोई भेद नहीं करेंगे। हम धनिकों में, गरीबों में, शून्यों में, सामान्यों में भी भेद नहीं करेंगे, अपितु हम एक साथ चलते चलते स्वयं को जाने, परमात्मा को जाने और प्रकृति को जाने, क्योंकि अंततः ज्ञान से ही आनंद है, ज्ञान से ही शांति है, ज्ञान से ही मोक्ष है। परंतु उस ज्ञान की साधना करते हुए हमें दो बातों का ध्यान रखना है, ददता और अघनता। जो मेरे पास है, हर कोई, परमात्मा की सृष्टि में ऐसा कोई जीव नहीं है कि जिसके पास देने के लिए कुछ नहीं है। सबके पास देने के लिए परमात्मा ने बहुत कुछ दे के रखा, तो हमें देते रहना है, संग्रह नहीं करना है, ये पहली बात। और दूसरी बात कहा अघनता, हम किसी की हिंसा ना करें, हम किसी को मानसिक कष्ट भी ना दे, हम किसी को शारीरिक कष्ट ना दे, और हम प्रत्येक शरीर में निवास करने वाले परमात्मा को जानने की ना केवल चेष्टा करें, अपितु उसको जानकर उसके सामने नतमस्तक हो और उसकी सेवा में लगे रहे। तो इस प्रकार की विश्व कल्याण की जो भावना है, जिसको महर्षि अत्रि जी ने अपने ऋग्वेद के 5वें मंडल में बताया है, आज इस प्रसंग में आपने जो यह जो विश्व कल्याण के लिए, और विशेषतः अभी मैं आपकी बात सुन रहा था, जिस प्रकार की चिंता, जिस प्रकार का परिश्रम और जिस प्रकार की लगन आपके जीवन में, इसके पहले भी मैं आपसे मिला, यहाँ भी आपके साथ एक दो बार आया हूँ, आपको अभी शायद स्मरण नहीं है, अस्तु। तो उसके लिए हम सभी आपके ऋणी रहेंगे और आपसे प्रेरणा लेकर देश में और विश्व में अनेकानेक धनिक है, ज्ञानी है, विद्वान है, परंतु उनका मन, उनकी बुद्धि इस प्रकार के मार्ग पर नहीं चल रही है जिस मार्ग पर महर्षि अत्रि चल रहे हैं, उसी मार्ग पर हमारे राव साहब चल रहे हैं और उसी मार्ग पर चलने की प्रेरणा इस यज्ञ के फलस्वरूप सबको प्राप्त हो, ऐसी सर्वांतर्यामी परमात्मा के चरणों में प्रार्थना। आप सभी का अभिवादन, सभी को धन्यवाद और वाणी को विराम। यज्ञ नारायण भगवान की जय।
Now, I introduce Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria ji. VallabhBhai Kathiria ji is the surgeon, oncology surgeon by medical profession, and he was the minister in Vajapaye government and held various positions as health, industries in Vajapaye government. After that, he was in Gujarat government in looking after all cow-related issues. Now he's been appointed as the Rashtriya Kamdhenu Aayog in this Modi government, second one. And now I request Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria ji, because his only one point agenda is to save the cow and develop the cow in India. Now I request Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria to deliver his speech.
Om Surabhyai Namaha. Vande Go Matram. I, Dr. VallabhBhai Kathiria, really appreciate this very purposeful webinar organized by Dr. G.B.K. Rao and other organizations. I am very happy that today I am over here to meet all the stalwarts and say a few words of mine. Vedic, organic agriculture and Kamadhenu. First of all, I congratulate Dr. G.B.K. Rao and Srimati G.V. Kumari for organizing this wonderful Vajapeya Maha Soma Yagas 2020 at Hyderabad. As such, I was supposed to be here, supposed to be there in Hyderabad to have the darshan of this yagna and all the dignitaries. But because of the earlier engagement, I could not. But I really heartily thankful to all the organizers, the Pragati Sudhama, the organization led by Dr. G.B.K. Rao, and his Biodiversity Knowledge Park. I think the real need of time, what he has developed for before 25 years before, what he realized that it is going to be the need of in future. I also congratulate Aurobindo International Foundation, Tirupati Devasthanam, and Maharshi Vedic University, Holland. All of them have organized this Vedic Yagya, Soma Yagya, and I know that this is a sacred, greatest yagna of Vedic culture in Vedic history. There are so many Rajasu Yagna and other yagnas, but this is called the Mahayagya because it can lead to emperor rather than the king if some ruler is going to organize this such type of yagya. And therefore, I congratulate all the organizers from 20, I think it is started on 14th and going to end tomorrow on 25th. See all the friends and participants. As I was in flight and I was late, so I could reach later to you. I could not hear all the speakers, but for last 10 minutes during question answer session, I was just listening to some of the questions and answers. As we know, and I might have been told that we are the human, I think all human race is passing through a crucial period of corona. Even the existence and survival is very much feared. And in this global pandemic of Corona 19, the behavior is changing. The it is a strange variety. Even a nanoparticle has all we to us have present all of us all over the world. And this is somebody has said, okay, it is just a starting and only a nature's wake up call. Nature has given up to us a wake up call. Okay, now you revert back to nature, otherwise all living being will be vanished from the planet Earth. And this is the wake up call at that time. As already might have been said, the Hindu Dharma, the Sanatana Dharma, the Vedic Sanskruti, and its scientific relevance. It is utmost necessary now. See, basically, our old Shastras they are basically all science textbooks. All sloks are principles of the science. But we forgot it. But I am very happy that even in Holland, our Vedic, this Maharshi Vedic University, as well as there are so many other organizations here, Gayatri Parivar in India, Sri Ravi Shankar, and other so many spiritual organizations are coming forward to have scientific evidence and to meet with this science and spirituality together. It is said that the country will rule or the religion will rule, which will have spirituality and science together. And there are more chances that India would be the world leader in 21st century, because in the initial stage only, we have a very big setback. We will have to revert to nature. We will have to think totally differently. We will have to think of our ancient science and relevance of science in present era. And accordingly, I think if world will come back, then and then we will be able to survive. And in this case, the subject today, Vedic organic agriculture and the Kamdhenu. The Kamdhenu means which fulfills all desires, pleasure, which makes us all, welfare of the all. The Kamadenu, when during the war between the Asur and Deva and Danav, during churning, the Kamadenu came out, and then onwards we worship cows. It is known as Kamadhenu, and I am very happy that our visionary Prime Minister Narendra Modi has established Kamadenu Aayog, National Cow Commission, Rashtriya Kamdhenu Aayog, looking to the importance of cows in present circumstances, spiritually, even environmentally, scientifically, in agriculture, in health scenario, and overall social and social development and overall welfare of the human race. I will say not only the human race, but all the creatures. That is the most importance of the cow. And our, many times I say our Narendra Modi is not a Raja, he is a Rajarshi. And he has established this Kamdhenu Aayog to again re-establish the cow culture. Basically, India is the country of Gau, Ganga, Gayatri, Gita, and Govind. Gau means cow, Ganga, river, Gayatri, our all goddesses, Gita, our all holy books, holy books, and Govind means the God. And among them, cow is one of the unique soul, one of the revered soul. And we as a government, we as a society, we as an individual will have to understand the basic Kamadhenu, basic importance of cow. And for that, as I was listening that what India should do. First of all, we have started educating the sense and sensitizing the youth and all the younger generation. We have started Kamdhenu study circle, Kamdhenu chair, Kamdhenu research centers in all universities to sensitize the young youth. They should know the real importance, real value of the cow. It is not a myth. Many times it is said that all the written in our shastras is a myth. It is just a kalpana, but it is not like that. It is the real importance, real science behind we have to explore, and that's why we have started this Kamadenu chair. And number two, we are promoting new education policy, the various chapters on cow effect on environment, in economy, in agriculture, everywhere. And that's why new education policy just declared before 2 or 3 months, we are going to inculcate the cow culture to our younger generation, right from childhood. Go, go. It is not for the gadheda, but go for guy, G for cow, C for cow. So such type of right from very beginning up to the research and science and all economy, to change the economy, we are promoting such type of various activities. Looking to the importance of cow in its Panchgavya, cow milk, cow curd, cow ghee, cow urine, and cow dung. See, the most important is all Panchgavya for Panch Mahabhut. We are what basically Yajna is. Two things are necessary for Yajna. One is Brahman and another is Havi. What is Havi? Havi, that is the various substances of cow. Cow Panchgavya, ghee, kruta, milk, curd, dahi, and other samagri also. But, and that is for the purity of the heart, purity of our soul, for enlightening us. Huge yagna, very big yagnas were being performed for many years, but now we have forgot it. And I am happy that we are now again rejuvenating this culture in younger generation. And coming days, definitely, people will realize, the world will realize that yes, the Indian culture, Indian yajna, Indian Kamdhenu, Indian cow, they are the most powerful for the sustenance of life, for sustenance of all creatures, and again living in harmony with all creatures. We will have to revert back to nature, and that is the, I think, message for today from Yajna, Soma Yajna, and today's agriculture, Vedic agriculture, and Kamdhenu. See, I will just tell that before 1 month or so, our Niti Aayog, the highest apex body, which is chaired by our Prime Minister, they had a 2 days webinar, national webinar, and that was on natural farming. Maybe it's, we may call it organic farming, natural farming, in Hindi, the Jaivik Kheti, many times it is called spiritual farming, whatever word we may use. But basically, the two things are necessary. One thing is cow dung and cow urine, and basically cow, the Kamdhenu. It is must in all types of such type of natural farming, all types of organic farming. And we are blessed that we are having more than 50 such type of indigenous cow breeds all over India. And they are the real masterpiece for our agriculture. See, in agriculture, our 70% people are living in the rural areas, and our agriculture is our backbone of our economy. At that time, agriculture and animal husbandry, agriculture and go palan, cow rearing are the main streams of our economic strength. And at that time, now we are promoting cow-based agriculture, cow organic farming from cow dung and cow urine. Government is propagating various schemes. See, it is very sad to say that 80,000 crore urea and DAP we are importing, and almost 90% of the pesticide we are importing. But we are not utilizing our cow wealth, Godhan. Cow urine and cow dung are really Gomaya Vasate Lakshmi. It means cow dung is wealth, and that is for biofertilizer and biopesticide. It is the most important substance, and it is wasted now. But now we have started. We are people are getting farmers and everybody awareness programs are going on, and I am sure within few years everybody will realize the importance of cow dung and cow urine, and we will be back to organic farming, because it is a question of survival of our health. I am being a cancer surgeon. I know that how many diseases are because of the poisonous food, the chemical and pesticide, full of chemical and pesticide. We are eating any fruits, any vegetables, any grains, all are full of pesticide and chemicals. And that is the reason why such type of coronavirus are coming, new viruses are coming in the air. See, we have disturbed the Panchamahabhut and ecology of the total world. And that can be recycled by Kamadenu and Yajna. Yes, Yajna, which rejuvenate all five Panchamahabhut, will give energize all Panchamahabhut, and for that Kamdhenu, cow dung, cow urine, Panchagavya is necessary, and that's why cow is necessary. So I think for agriculture, for our health point of view, if we want to survive, then we will have to revert for organic food. And for organic food, we will have to have our Dharti Mata, our motherland. We will have to make it poison free. Our Honorable Prime Minister told in his speech in August 2018 from Red Fort that I want to make my motherland free of poison. How it will be possible? Only possible through organic farming. And for organic farming, it is must that we will have to have cow. One cow per family. That is my slogan. And make a Jivamrut, make a organic culture, organic khad, organic biofertilizer, and utilize it. And that's how we will be able to survive. So all these, I will not go into details, but we are now promoting in India by all means under the Swachh Bharat Mission, under the Jal Shakti Mantralaya, under the Petroleum Ministry, Agriculture Ministry, under the MNRE, and under the Animal Husbandry Ministry, Kamdhenu Aayog. Everybody is behind organic farming. We are sensitizing the farmers, sensitizing the youth, women, all, that we will have to revert back to organic farming, and that is Vedic farming also. So I think now it is a right time, high time, and nature has taught us a great lesson. Corona has taught us a great lesson that if you don't revert, then you are going to finish, you are going to perish. If you want to survive, the friends, I salute Dr. Rao that here he started this movement 25 years back. And now it is high time that we will have a mass abhiyan, mass movement for organic farming. And it is the right time. I don't want to say anything more, but all Panchgavyan, all Kamdhenu, all cow-based activities, all cow-based agriculture, health, all issues are very much important. And in that, government, along with the society, all the religious leaders, all the NGOs, we are trying to promote, and we are trying to go for the organic or Vedic farming, Vedic agriculture. And India is such a country that we can provide food to not only our country, but whole world. Because of the diversity of our atmospheric agroclimatic zones, we are able to produce all the types of grains, all the types of vegetables, and all the types of medicinal plants. So this is the real biodiversity of our country. And we have to inculcate that sanskar, that culture in our new generation, our generation next, our youth, that now it is the right time to lead all over the world, and India is going to be the leader in very near future. in agriculture and organic farming. I think nothing. If there are any questions, then we will have a question answer session. I don't know because much time might have been passed. Uh, Friend, I really thank Dr. Our Reddy Sekar, very PC Sekar Reddy. Where is he? Yes, he's good. Yes, he's very good friend of mine and well wisher and Govt also. So we will at the earliest I will be visiting our this biodiversity park and we will have a conversation with our Dr. G.B.K. Rao and we will have a mass movement all over the country. And please join us in this movement over our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who is very much anxious about the climate change issues. And all actions are to change these climate change issues. And he many a time he says, you see, there is a inconvenient truth is there. Inconvenient truth is there. But what are the convenient actions? And he has started taking convenient actions to improve the climate change issues, to solve the climate change issues in various ways. That's all. Again, thank you very much, Dr. Shekhar Reddy and Dr. Rao and all the participants, all the speakers. I salute all of you for giving me time to say a few words. Vande Go Matram.
Vande Go Matram. Thank you, Dr. Vallabh Kathiria ji. It was very nice presentation. And we were planned a big Goshalas seminar today, but as you canceled your visit, at your next earliest convenience, and one word I would like to say that India can only become Vishwaguru based on the strength of Veda knowledge, Vedic knowledge only. And my only request is, now as you said, scientific studies, we engaged, Pragati Sudhama has engaged 4 institutions, including SVASA, World Class University. The schools are coming very beautifully well. Maybe by 3-4 days, all results will come. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. G.B.K. Garu. Is known here as the urban man of India, sir. He has grown 45 lakh trees in 2,500 acres. Really, no one person can do this. You know, like it's really, seeing is believing. Earlier, I was also not believing, but when I saw here and staying here, it's really good thing. And whenever you come here, you please this thing. My only request is that this kind of model should go to Modi ji because you should take this thing to the Modi ji and see that how difficult to create this kind of infrastructure. Every day, trillions of seed is coming. Entire world, he can supply the good mother seed from all the farmers and all those things. And I asked G.B.K. to put a word, then we can close this one.
Dr. VallabhBhai Kamdhenu, Kalpurukha. Lord Krishna is having these two. That's why he says that you take care of these two, that I will take care. But we doesn't want these two, and these two people want. So now is the time. Modi ji is the future of our country, and the country is going to showcase the whole world what is India. It is only through the Kalpruksha and Kamadenu. These two, if we take care, our agriculture simply just becomes like a Vedic lifestyle, which is consumption. Unless we consume, they are going to be endangered. All these plants, so many is endangered, like Mutsanjivani, Sandhanakarani, Visalyakarani, Suvarnakarani, like the Kalprukshas, whatever the Kalprukshas Manidvipam has said, Harichandanam, Mandaram, Kalpakam, Santanam, Parijatam, and Maredu. Then finally, the 7th one is Kadamba. Is a Kadamba. All these plants the roots are, is cut by the water. It becomes sacred. That's Amrita, Samudra, Ocean. Our beloved Prime Minister, he is spending a lot of money for Ganga to clean. The chemicals is bringing and putting it. What we have to do, this type of Timurtivanam, Pachivativanam, Pachibhutavanam, Nagravanam, Nakshatravanam, Rashtrivanam, these vanams he has to create, like Tipala, Dashimola, these are the things which it just purifies the soil, water, air, everything. This is the only way our biodiversity can be saved. I request you to please take care of these things, plantation, not the those plantations or sacred plants, herbal, medicinal, aromatic plants. We, Pragati, we don't have mosquitoes, we don't have bad bacteria, no corona. Corona is 49 marriages took place here, 135 rooms fully booked, and why this place is no corona? This is the what we have to replica. That this is the Pereira, President General Secretary of the biodiversity. He said that he wanted these plants for every country. But I said, our Indians, don't have this knowledge. If it goes there, it will become a patent again. Once they take patent, we will not able to buy that high medicinal value. Like I request you. So thank you very much. It's a great pleasure. It's a time we don't want to take much time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vallabhji.
Mama, introduce.
Yeah, it's
Done?
thank you, Kathiria ji. Now I have to one point, like hundreds and thousands of people are visiting here. We are discouraging people to wear masks. But nothing, no, every day we are testing COVID, everything is negative. So that is the greatness of this place. Now we are waiting for your visit here so that we can have a.
You are most welcome.
Thank you, Gaurav-ji. Thank you very much.
Everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank
Really
you.
proud of you, proud of you.
So all of you to visit Pragati Sudhama. Most welcome.
Yes,
August,
Pragati Sudhama, at the earlier.
Yeah.
Yes, at the earlier I will be there.
one more Yajna is going to come. So we can plan well advanced time is given. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Dhanyawad.
you. Vande Gomatra.
Vande
Vande Gomatram.
One.